Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Coming up, we're out with the police to catch anglers who are not only bending their rods, they're bending the rules.
You haven't got one, have you? Oh dear.
We've got Skinner's top dog training tips as that season races towards us. First, Mark Gilchrist is shooting and protecting the main ingredients. It is hunter-gatherer. Mark Gilchrist and wood pigeons have something in common. It's not speed or agility, the ability to breed all year round, or muscle-bound legs. It's their love of peas. As a result, Mark has two things to do today: protect the farmer's pea crop from hungry pigeons and create a quick, tasty meal for us using, you guessed it, pigeons and peas.
There's the peas. As you can see, they're getting tough now. If you squish them, they're more like, you know, the dried peas you get at home rather than sweet peas. On the subject of sweet peas, well done little pea. Good sausage. Right, off you go, go on, get on.
There is an important message here which we'll get to later. First, let's get Harvey the farmer's son set up on one side of the crop. And it looks like he'll need planning permission for his hide. We do like to see a well-constructed blind, but before we start taking the mick, bear in mind it's a breezy day and knocking the posts in might be a lesson for us all. Harvey doesn't get to shoot very much and he's keen to learn about hides and decoys. He's also keen to learn about preparing the birds for the table.
I'm going to go down, like that, and then turn when you hit the bone. And then you just take the last bit off here. All birds are the same shape, so you know, if you can do a pigeon, you can do a pheasant, you can do a duck. Another tip that I found when I was making game pies is if you put all the meat in water, all the pellets fell out. I don't know why, something to do with it floating and relaxing, but of the sort of 300 that come out of the gun, I should think no more than 10 will actually hit the bird.
It's interesting how quickly people respond to a challenge and the chance of learning a new skill. Harvey's friend Yoshi also gets stuck in.
I've never plucked a pigeon before.
You should have come out this afternoon. You could have shot a pigeon, plucked a pigeon, eat a pigeon.
I'd like to be able, I'd really, you know, like I'd love to be able to kill it and eat it and do it, and I think I could. Oh, it's warm.
There you go.
The girl who was a vegetarian for 2 years and can't kill bugs.
Don't worry, we're saving you.
It feels like quite a good thing to. Sorry, I'm putting feathers everywhere.
No, don't worry.
Very fluffy.
A former vegetarian recently forced into carnivorous submission by the vegetarian's kryptonite, the bacon sandwich. Talking of vegetarians, we're going to get on our soapbox now. A lot of us will have had conversations about shooting with a veggie friend or family member. For many, not all, it's a conscious decision because they don't like the idea of killing animals. But the truth is that veggies are responsible for a pigeon becoming an ex-pigeon, a rabbit becoming an ex-rabbit, and we've asked Mark to set the record straight.
Vegetarians are fairly complicit in the killing of animals, even when they eat grain. The story is very simple. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you have pests. Let's just take England for example. You've got rabbits, pigeons and deer would be the biggest pests. So every time you eat a bowl of Weetabix, slice of bread, can of beer, mayonnaise, anything like that, you're killing animals. You might think you're not. I'm afraid you are. This is how grains are produced. The farmer financially can't afford to let his crop get eaten by pests. It's him that takes the cost. The supermarkets don't say, terribly sorry, you've lost 10% of your crop to pigeons, you know, we'll compensate you for that. I can't think of a food source which is produced on a large scale which doesn't involve killing animals. It all comes from a farm, they've all got pests, all the pests get controlled. It's that simple.
Back to our pigeon prep, and it's time for the precious peas, and Mark is making the pea puree. Mark blends the peas with mint and olive oil with plenty of seasoning.
Just olive oil, salt, pepper, mint, peas, and then hot water, as we're using frozen peas. About right?
It takes just a few minutes and can be done while he is pan-frying the pigeon. Let's return to the shooting, and Mark's Mossberg pump action from York Guns is still doing its job. The pigeons are not decoying brilliantly, but there is a lot of passing interest. The pea crop is 150 acres, and having just 2 guns means we are struggling to keep all of the birds in the air. One pigeon is having a really bad day. It's injured, but before Dawn the dog can get to it, a bird of prey drops onto it. But it doesn't stick around. If anyone can help us with the species and why it might not have taken the pigeon, please let us know. Now, as we're enjoying the soapbox, Mark has another issue. He's concerned that people who are coming into shooting spend money on the gun and the scope and shirk on other things like eye protection and hearing. Like this chap snapped in South Africa. Mark's lucky enough to have Sens Digital as a sponsor, but you don't have to spend hundreds, you just need to take it seriously.
You've got to use something. It's so important. You can't, once your hearing's gone, it's gone. It never comes back. For the people that have gone out and spent, 10 grand on their first gun, you'd be as well getting a 600 quid gun and getting something like this done, because these chaps will last so much longer than the gun will. An average gun will only last 20,000 shots, which, for some people that's a long time. That's a year for me.
Back to the food, and Mark is pan-frying the pigeon breasts in olive oil and some fresh rosemary. He likes to keep the breast pink. If the cooker is hot, a couple of minutes either side should do.
The biggest tip with pigeon is don't overcook it. So I want to keep it nice and pink. We're going to just do it for a couple of minutes, really fast, on one side, flip them all over, another couple of minutes, take it off the heat, give it 5 minutes to relax, slice it up nice and thinly, and load the wraps up.
Mark bags about 50 birds, so plenty for our gathering, and Harvey has about 12. Opening the crop shows just how big the pigeon pea problem is. Imagine the impact of a few thousand birds.
And those are the peas. These crops absolutely stuffed for them.
Right, the finishing touches. Some warmed wraps, a layer of pea puree, a generous helping of prime pigeon meat finished off with a smothering of yoghurt. And hey presto, Mark's rolled a fat one. And it's delicious.
2 of us plucked it out in a couple of minutes. 10 minutes in the pan, bit of pea puree. We've got a really classy meal for nothing. Very easy to do. You don't have to do it in a really, really fancy way. Just simplicity is often the best.
So next time you're out shooting pigeons, why not rustle up a quick meal in order to have your post-match debrief? It's cheap, it's easy, and you never know, you might convert a few veggies at the same time.
Sorry, why are you still here?
Mark keeping shooting sociable there, just the way it should be. Now, someone who finds sociable uncomfortable, it's David on the Fieldsports channel, News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Britain News. The glorious 12th of August, the beginning of the grouse shooting season in the UK, is less than 2 weeks away. Robert Benson from the Moorland Association has heard from a few estates reporting grouse counts.
Early broods are small in number and there are quite a lot of late broods, and in some cases this means that people will not actually be shooting on the 12th but have put the season back by a week or two.
James Horn of gunsonpegs.com says prices for grouse are holding steady.
Gross cost is around about £150 plus VAT. We have seen some days at about 140 and some up to about 175. So that's the sort of price that we're seeing at the moment.
2/3 of game shooters have never had a shooting lesson. That's the conclusion of research by Strutt and Parker, Rods on Rivers and gunsonpegs.com. Together they've brought out a census of shooting and fishing in the UK. They spoke to 4,000 shooters and discovered that they spend more than £5,000 a year each on their sport. Fishers spend just £1,700 a year on their sport. The US privacy debate sparked by whistleblower Edward Snowden has reached the hunting community. The Colorado town of Deer Trail, population 550, has garnered international attention by circulating a proposed ordinance that would permit the shooting of drones. Licensed hunters may even collect a $100 bounty if they present identifiable pieces of a drone taken out. A young American boy with no legs, one arm and only one finger on that one arm has not let it stop him going after deer. Friends and family built a hide around Nick Santo, who suffers from a rare condition called Hanhart syndrome. Nick started shooting 3 years ago. A YouTuber who specialises in 3D printing and printing ukuleles has now turned his hand to printing rifles. Based in the USA, 3D Ukulele has produced a fully 3D printed rifle he designed. He calls it the Grizzly after the Canadian-built Sherman tanks of the Second World War. In this first test, it fired off a Winchester Dynapoint, but the barrel split along both sides for about 2 inches, and the top of the receiver split the same amount. Back to the drawing board, or the ukuleles. And finally, a Canadian fishing party got a glimpse of a very rare catfish. This cougar looked very comfortable as it came gliding by and continued doggy paddling to the shore. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Britain news. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Right, rural crime units have many roles, and one you can bank on is catching anglers who don't have a licence. Bank on. Get it? The shooting, fishing and hunting community has to work closely with the police. Firearm licences, rod licences and hunting within the law bring us all together. However, the countryside is full of rich pickings. Metal, machinery and animals are all unfair game, which is why rural crime squads exist all over the nation. Today we are out with officers from Kent Police and the Environment Agency on a joint operation in North Kent looking for people without a rod licence or who are poaching fish.
Poaching fish in Kent is quite a big issue. We're not looking at poaching at this particular site here, but later on today we'll be looking for that sort of issue. But yeah, Eastern European, we hope to engage with that community in a sort of educational type of tell them how we deal with things.
The Environment Agency aren't often accompanied by the police, but a recent attack here on one of the agency staff has provoked a stronger presence. These operations have also proved successful with intelligence gathering. In the past, some people questioned about a rod licence have actually been wanted for far more serious crimes. But there's none of that here today.
We've obviously have to deal with poaching. A lot of landowners are frustrated with poachers going onto their land, tearing up the crops and causing issues. Obviously, traditionally it's been a sport with certain persons within society, and it's illegal, so we're cracking down on that. Being part of the wildlife crime team as well, we get all issues in relation to nesting bats, destruction of habitat, birds. It could be endless amount of different jobs we have to deal with.
Our first few customers do have all the paperwork required, even if they don't have it to hand. Agency staff like Ben can make a quick check over the phone.
That's all right. We can phone that through. How are you doing it this morning, all right? Got anything?
The carp just snapped me off.
Oh, did it?
Our second lake delivers our first non-licence holder.
You haven't got one, have you? Oh dear. All right, yeah. This chap will speak to you about that. Grab some details from you.
Because it's an offence, I'm going to caution you at this stage. Okay?
Yeah.
You're not under arrest, you're free to leave at any time. It's just that basically to question you, just need to basically caution you so you understand your rights and everything. Okay?
People are required to have a rod licence to fish the waters and stuff, and what we're tending to find is some people have got were just unaware that they needed a licence, or that they were going fishing and on the presumption that licences would be provided. So it's a bit of an error on their part, but we've recorded those facts and go from there, really.
The case will be referred to the Environment Agency legal team, and depending on the circumstances, it could result in a fine or a caution. This guy says he thought his wife had sorted it out for him. Just to show the police's soft side, PC Frost has taken time to take a shot of the ducklings.
Little ducklings there, a little orange one. Little orange one there.
Send it in country
Brilliant,
file.
brilliant. See, this is what it's all about.
Country file calendar, put it in there.
See, I'm a loving, caring animal lover, me. That's enough, David, that's enough.
Today is not only about whether the anglers have a licence, but if they have enough licences. The more rods on the water, the more paperwork required.
You think it's a good idea or a bad idea, us doing it?
I think it's a good idea.
Right.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah. It should be checked.
Well, you pay for yours, so
Well,
why
I get
shouldn't
mine
others?
reduced because I'm a pensioner now.
Right, okay, even better.
Yeah, it's a good idea, yeah. I mean, in the day, you know, it all goes to a good cause, doesn't it? So,
Right, yeah.
clean the waters up, rivers and things like that,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Back at the cafe, we do a quick calculation, and the results are in.
39 people were checked, and out of the 39 that were checked, there's 8 people that didn't have a licence. And there's varying reasons for not having a licence, but those matters are referred off to the Environment Agency, and then in due course they'll probably just get a warning or they may get a fine depending on what they decide to do.
Now from stop and search to a heist. Our last stop is known for fish poaching, but the guys we stop here are all up to date. Apart from this guy who spots us from the other bank and tries to get his licence online. Whether it is the slowness of 3G or the half-hour wait before a licence is issued, he is too late and is given the bad news. It has been an interesting day. No one was done for keeping back a monster carp for the barbecue, but some were given a gentle reminder that it pays to get your rod licence at the start of the season, or even a day ticket. Rod licences are available at post offices and online at postoffice.co.uk/rod fishing licence. Kent Police keeping it rural there, and here's a few films from you lot keeping it rural all over the world. It is Hallo Charlie. Here's what the world's up to this week.
Hello Charlie, my name is Sean.
And my name is Torture.
We're here today at the CLA, having a fantastic time on the Pugs and Drummers stand, enjoying our time with our new best friend, Mr. Golf Club.
And Mr. Ned.
Thank you.
Hello Charlie. Hello Charlie. We're coming to you from a very hot field in Dorset after days decoying on the turnips. We've had a very successful day given the lack of traffic on the bird front, shooting a total bag of 41. Thank you, Meggie.
Hello Charlie. I'm out with my dog Moss. There's Moss. We're trying to get a roebuck, but we're not doing very well.
Hello Charlie, this is Chris from Holland. I'm shooting a few pigeons today on the barley with my friend Flesh. He's too busy watching the pigeons right now.
Bye-bye Charlie. Bye-bye Charlie.
Send us your own Hallo Charlie. Film yourself on your mobile phone, just a sentence saying Hallo Charlie, who you are and what you're up to. Then share it or email it via YouTube, Facebook, Dropbox, or you send it, you name it, to charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. The shooting season will soon be upon us, and over the last few months we've been bringing you short films from Skinner's Pet Foods about how to turn your gundog into a legend and you into a retrieving god. Here's the latest. The ultimate gundog, the field trial champion, trusts its hander implicitly. Nowhere is this more the case than during a blind retrieve. Here's how top gundog trainer Howard Kirby teaches dogs to pull off one of those.
Okay, so the blind retrieve is a retrieve you get asked to pick when you and the dog haven't seen the bird shot. So you may arrive in your truck and the keeper says, "Oh Howard, I've got a bird shot down over by that bank, just by that post there." Well, you, the human, knows where it is. You've now got to convey that information to your dog. So you need to build his confidence to take a line, this line we talked about earlier. When you say, "Get out, fetch," he goes out in a straight line. Dogs, if they're not trained to take a blind retrieve, when you say "Get out and fetch," they'll just turn around and look at you and you go, "Well, I didn't see anything thrown, so I'm not going. I didn't see anything shot." So we need to teach them that when we say go, they will find something out there. So we gradually build that up. We develop that up by sending a dog a very short distance to somewhere where he's had several retrieves from previously. So basically you take him out in your garden, your training field, you let him have several retrieves out of this bush, and then you turn him away, or you get a friend to plant a bird in the same bush without him seeing it thrown in there, and you turn him around and you face him and you say "Fetch," and he goes, "Well, I never saw one thrown in there." And then he goes, "But I have had several retrieves out of that bush, I'll go and try." He tries it, he finds the bird, he comes back and he goes, "I like my dad, he's good at this, I believe him. If he says look, that's where I'll go."
Howard runs Mullinscote Gundogs from Lanes Shooting School near Andover in Hampshire. Visit mullinscote.co.uk. This series on gundog training tips is brought to you by Skinner's Pet Foods, maker of the Field and Trial range of gundog feeds. Visit skinnerspetfoods.co.uk. And you can watch all of our Skinner's gundog training films by clicking on the link that's appearing in the screen up there behind me. Now let's have a look at the best of hunting, shooting and fishing on YouTube. It is Hunting YouTube. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting, shooting and fishing videos that YouTube has to offer. Viewer Jakob Fiergerman sends in his film Strand Og Havjagt about bird shooting in Denmark. He is having a lovely time wildfowling from boats and kayaks around the many flat homes and steep homes that dot the Danish coast. Now we're off to New Mexico, USA for a muzzleloader elk. Sponsored by the US custom rifle shop Gunworks, it's a long, quiet creep in semi-darkness onto a completely unsuspecting animal. Good work all round. Back in the more sedate world of shooting in the UK, Malk from Country Pursuits TV is out with his Daystate Mark IV IS, which includes an onboard computer called MAP Compensated Technology to deliver its well-known accuracy and efficiency. Next to Russia for some presidential pike. Vladimir Putin lands a 46-pounder on a recent weekend trip to Siberia. This footage released by the Kremlin is the latest leisure stunt by the Russian Hercules, and maybe some of the more lily-livered world prime ministers and presidents should do the same. While we all expect Putin to wrestle mighty creatures, here's someone who is pushing the cultural boundaries. Varmin Hunters is an American YouTube channel that this week offers humpback salmon fishing to a hip-hop track. He's swagging it. Back to the world of guns, and can a slingshot hit harder than handguns? May well be a question that keeps you awake into the small hours. Worry ye no more, for our old pal Jörg Sprava has the answer in this film, a shootout which he had to make in America because catties with arm braces are illegal in his home country of Germany. GoPro Wild Boar is, as the title convinces you, rough as guts action. 99% filmed on a GoPro, NZ Wild Things is out catching hogs with dogs in New Zealand. Finally, for all you Emmets planning to sizzle in the sun like prime back bacon on a Moroccan holiday in Agadir, be aware that it is also a boar hunter's paradise. Morocco may be the land of the muscle-man, but that does not dim Najib Bouzri's promise of énorme moments de chasse in his film Tir de Sangliers. You can click on any of these films to watch them. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, send it in via YouTube or email me the link charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, we are back next week, and if you're watching this on YouTube, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button that's somewhere around the outside of the screen, or go to our webpage, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, or scroll down to the bottom of the page and pop your email address into our constant contact form. And we will constantly contact you about our programme that's at 7 PM UK time every Wednesday. This has been Fieldsports Britain.